Welcome back, everyone. In this video, I am continuing the efforts to lift the veil of confusion on different order flow techniques. In the previous video, we talked about supply and demand on larger time frames, and today we are talking about the market profile, because this is also an order flow trading strategy. Market profile focuses on the intraday time frame order flow. And because of its apparent complexity and, let's say, meta language, a lot of people who don't use it properly will be quick to tell you how market profile is crap, market profile doesn't work, because they kind of tested one or two misplaced ideas over the weekend and deemed that it's too much, that it doesn't work, and blah, blah, blah. But here's the thing. Market profile relies on pairing real-time price action with three core components. A distribution curve from the previous day session, called the value area for this purpose, using only regular trading hours for best outcome. So not the current day distribution curve that's still being formed, like you see in a lot of YouTube videos. That's like trying to read an engulfing pattern while the candle is still forming, the engulfing candle. It's not a pattern yet, is it? So we used a finished session from yesterday, just like we use a finished, done and dusted candlestick pattern. That's what we use for reference for a general open sentiment. Open sentiment, what the hell is that? Open sentiment is just a fancy way of saying the most likely direction. So the direction that has the highest odds of happening. The second component of market profile is the range from the first hour of trading for the current session, called the initial balance. So let's quickly recap. Yesterday's distribution curve, today's first hour trading range. And then the final core component is the real-time auction process, real-time price action development, which in this concept is represented through a 30-minute time frame, but just organized as a vertical histogram. So instead of looking at 30-minute candles, we look at something called the TPOs, where each 30-minute time frame is represented by one letter from the alphabet. If you want to do a real deep dive into these concepts, have a look at the description box below this video and click on the first link in there and go to a course entitled 9 Days to Market Profile Trading. So if something relies on reading real-time price action with a couple of reference points, how can it not work? You know, the only thing that doesn't work is usually the ability of the trader in question who hasn't spent enough time to understand the power of market profile. 90% of the traders that I work with use the auction process in one way or another. So that should really tell you something. And then some of the biggest prop shops out there will first teach you the profile concepts before anything, whether it's volume profile or market profile or both. It's still a very, very core component of being able to read the market state that day. Now, in my method, we use the market profile reasonably heavily to determine such things as overnight inventory, the sentiment that can give us, a very highly probable direction on the day. And there are clear stats that me and my team have researched over the last sort of 8 years or so that are presented for the Silver Plus members below each relevant lecture. Market profile and or volume profile order flow relies on reading how the price behaves throughout the session. Is it building structure in one area, stuck in a range? Has it left a level with quite some strength? Or has it rejected a level also with quite some strength? Is it outside of the previous range? Is it coming back to it? But effectively, it is all the same information organized in a different way that's easier to see what's happening in a more methodical way in the heat of the moment. So when you pair those up with some other more popular prices of reference, such as overnight high, overnight low, average daily range, VWAP, etc., all that the profile will do for you is to give you some extra levels for re-entry into a trending move on a pullback. And guess what? It's all order flow, because those processes, those events that end up being printed on the chart as a finished price behavior, they're all representing the same thing. Supply and demand looks at some of these on large time frames using 6 different conditions. Market profile looks at them on a 30-minute time frame and uses more immediate price action events. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how something like bookmap uses a micro version of the same thing, only on very small time frames. So when you start to pair up all of these, like I do in my method, you'll get a reasonably clear picture of direction, sentiment, market state, and clear-cut levels. And, on a lot of the days, frankly, it's a bit of an eyesore when you know what to look for in order to find those asymmetrical opportunities that can help us limit risk before we put our money where our mouth is, thereby helping you to raise your skill level as a trader, increase your confidence, and minimize doing stupid, muppety things. It's not going to completely eliminate those moments, but it will at least minimize them. Because let's face it, most Muppet moments happen because you don't have the right tools to stay objective in light of real-time price activity. And while I'm making the next video, pop into my Tuesday live streams to get an idea of how it all plays out in practical terms. So let's strive to be less grasshopper and more market stalker with every passing day. Goodbye.